What happens to the estate when a child kills their parents? The Rob Reiner tragedy and California law. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Inheritance Untangled, where we break down the legal realities behind real-world estate issues, like When Harry Met Sally, Stand By Me, The Princess Bride, A Few Good Men, and many others. Michele Reiner were found dead in their Brentwood, California home in what law enforcement is investigating as a homicide. Both were beloved by family, friends, and the entertainment community, and tributes have poured in highlighting their decades-long marriage, their kindness, and their devotion to their children. According to initial reports, their son, Nick Reiner, has been arrested in connection with their deaths and is being held without bail. This is a truly tragic situation on every level. A loss of two loved and celebrated lives, and a devastating turn of events for their entire family. But today on Inheritance Untangled, we're also going to explore something that many viewers have been asking. If a child is responsible for the death of a parent, what happens to that parent's estate? This isn't just common sense. It's California law. Understanding the California Slayer Rule. In California, the law has a doctrine, often referred to as the Slayer Rule, and codified in Probate Code Section 250, that specifically addresses this situation. If someone feloniously and intentionally kills another person, especially a close family member, that person is legally barred from inheriting anything from the victim's estate. And the policy is simple. No one should be able to financially benefit from their own wrongdoing. In legal terms, the killer is treated as though they predeceased the victim. That means, with narrow exceptions, they lose any inheritance rights they might otherwise have had. And this section applies regardless of how the assets pass, by law, by will, or by trust. So let's break down how this applies to an estate like the Reiners. Hypothetically, even if we don't know Rob and Michele's actual estate plan, most estates have a mix of a will, a trust, jointly held property, life insurance, or retirement beneficiary designations, and other non-probate transfers. Here's how each type of asset could be affected. If there is a will or trust, under normal circumstances, the decedent's will or trust controls who gets what. If someone dies without a will or trust, California's intestacy rules govern for the parent decedent. Their share is reallocated to the remaining beneficiaries, just as if the killer never existed. The estate passes only to the remaining heirs, typically splitting among the surviving children or next of kin. Because of the Slayer Rule, that gift would not be paid to him. Instead, the estate plan would treat him as not alive at the time of his parents' death, and his share would be redistributed. Or setting up an estate plan, reach out to an estate planning attorney in your area. California law may sever the joint tenancy, meaning that person loses their right of survivorship and interest in the real property, again, preventing them from receiving proceeds for a conviction. Here's an important nuance. The rule applies if the kill, the murder, was intentional and felonious. A criminal conviction makes it undisputed that the act occurred. But even without a conviction, a civil proceeding in probate court can apply the Slayer Rule based on the evidence. So even if the criminal case has not finished, the estate can be administered in a way that excludes the killer. So here's a real-world what-if example. Let's assume Rob and Michele's estate is approximately $50 million. Includes both probate and trust assets. They have 3 children, Jake, Rami, and Nick. Let's imagine that, as alleged, Nick is legally determined to have killed his parents by a court of law. Under California law, Nick's inheritance interest is voided. He is treated as having predeceased, meaning died before his parents. The remaining estate passes to Jake and Rami and any contingent beneficiaries under the will, trust, or intestacy rules. Nick then receives nothing from their estate because of the Slayer Rule. Even if the will had named Nick specifically, he still would be disqualified. So here's our closing thoughts. This is a terribly tragic situation for a family, and the human loss is absolutely enormous. But when we look at the legal side of inheritance, California law is very clear. A person who intentionally and unlawfully takes the life of another cannot financially benefit from that person's estate. That's the law's way of preventing unjust enrichment and of respecting the decedent's rights and intentions. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more discussion of the breakdowns of estate, inheritance, and probate topics like this. Our thoughts are with all families touched by this tragedy. See you next time on Inheritance Untangled. This discussion is provided for educational and entertainment purposes only. If you want legal advice on probating a case, writing your will, creating or amending your living trust, or setting up an estate plan, reach out to an estate planning attorney in your area. www.lawtaxnotary.com for help in California.